What it looked like. It was Deion Sanders, prime time in prime time last night, taking on FCS powerhouse North Dakota State. We got all kinds of stars in the house, including T.O. ready to go and Shedeur Sanders very much ready to go. 1st and 10, Colorado, first quarter. There's the star, Travis Hunter, and Bart Scott. He's gone.
Well, this is as simple as it gets. Get the ball to your playmakers in space and let him do work. It was obvious that there was a true difference in speed on the football field.
That's the difference. The skill position players, including Jimmy Horn Jr., who had 7 catches, 198 yards in this touchdown.
Can't get him 2 yards, Deion. Give him a pass or something. I'll tell you what, he's a fast man.
He was very fast all night long. Colorado up 14-10, but North Dakota State hanging in all night long. Cam Miller, what a good night this quarterback had on the read option. North Dakota State with a 3-point lead at halftime. Third quarter, that's still the score, but just get used to hearing this. Shedeur Sanders to Travis Hunter again and again. Here comes another touchdown.
Well, mama, here goes that man. Now, this is what you're talking about when you understand that because he plays defense, he understands what defenders are taught to do. You want to play me front side, I'm going to stop, put on the air brakes. Cash.
Fourth quarter, Colorado, 3rd and 10. Sanders again, Hunter. Sanders, 26 of 34, 445 yards and 4 touchdowns in the game. Here comes another one of those. Travis Hunter, we're going to show you this twice. Bart, I have no idea how he catches this ball.
Me either. And this could have been PI, face guard, and all that stuff. But he said, listen, it was time to put the women and men, the women and children to bed, and he sent everybody home after that.
Look at that catch.
I don't know how many snaps this kid had, but he might need some X2 from Tannenbaum. You might need to send him a case.
7 catches, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns for Hunter, but North Dakota State hanging in there in the game. They're down by 11. Miller's going to take it in for his 2nd touchdown of the game. They go for the 2. They don't get it, so it's a 5-point differential. Colorado winds up having to punt. North Dakota State, one last chance, 5 seconds remaining, trying to find space. Miller with the Hail Mary.
Just knock it down. Just knock it.
It's going to be caught, but it's going to be down on the 4-yard line. That's how it ends. Colorado hangs on. An absolute thriller, 31-26. Primetime wins it in primetime.
You ever felt like you won, but you didn't win? I think 31 NFL scouts are on hand tonight, and I think they saw what they came to see. So let's move on from there. I'm going to try my best to hold back my anger, but we got the W, so I'm happy.
Okay, so Deion did not seem all that happy. His defense is probably the reason why. Last year, that defense a mess, ranking 124th in scoring, 130th in yards, allowing 453 yards per game. So after a full season of revamping that defense and opening up against an FCS opponent, albeit a very good one, there was not a lot of improvement. They allowed 26 points. They allowed 449 yards, including almost 300 in the air. So a little bit of best of times and worst of times, if you will, for last night. So here are Paul Finebaum and Desmond Howard, who gets up with us early this morning from College Station. We got game day coming up this weekend. It's going to be great. Let's dive into Deion's team after one game. Paul, we spent all week long talking about him and talking about them. What did we learn about this year's Colorado team last night?
We learned that he has 2 of the most exciting, if not the 2 most exciting players in college football in a very pedestrian defense, Greeny. It was fun to watch. It's going to get great reviews, which is important if your nickname is prime time. The problem is what happens when they start to face big-time opponents, and they will do that very soon, including next week. I think this team is very capable of getting to a winning record in a bowl game. I don't think they're capable of going much beyond that.
Desmond, how about it? What exactly is Colorado this in Deion's 2nd season?
Well, I think that Deion is in the perfect position right now because a situation where you win a game but you didn't play great is a coach's favorite position to be in, because now he can say we got the W, but we have a lot of things we need to do to get better at. And they understood that. Don't forget, they have like maybe 35, 40 transfers, so everything's not going to fit at the beginning, your first game. And don't get it twisted. North Dakota State is a great football program. Like, they just didn't go out there and play anybody. That's a quality team, very disciplined. They know the assignments extremely well. So I knew it would be a struggle in the first half. I would give Deion and his staff credit, though, for making adjustments in the second half to take over that game. That's what a great coaching staff does. Once you see what a team is made of in the first half, then you make the second half adjustments, and that's when you start to take over the game.
So right now, let's start talking about their individual stars, all right? So Colorado gets the win. We'll see what they're able to do. Yes, Desmond is 100% right. North Dakota State is a powerhouse of FCS, and they're an experienced group. So this was not going to be an easy night. It wasn't, but they found a way to win, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Paul, you mentioned they have two of the best and most exciting players in college football. Let's start with the quarterback, Dan Orlovsky. Can we put the tweet up from Dan, please, from last night? Because he's watching Shedeur Sanders last night, and Dan tweeted, I think Shedeur Sanders is a top 5 pick next year. I have Mike Tannenbaum in studio with us this morning as well, who obviously will be watching things from that perspective. So let me get that from everyone in the conversation here. Mike T, in Shedeur Sanders, are we seeing potentially the first pick in next year's draft?
Absolutely. I totally agree with what Dan tweeted. And, it's been reported that Shedeur's worked out with Tom Brady. You see some shades of it. One of the things he does so well, this is a great example of it. His eyes are down the field. He's trying to attack the defense. A lot of time you see quarterbacks roll out, try to check it down, avoid a big loss. This throw here is unbelievable. The accuracy, so you're seeing anticipation, accuracy, arm strength, touch. He has all the makings of actually being the top pick in the draft with one massive question mark, Greeny. Can he survive? If I'm Deion Sanders, the dad, I am screaming at Deion Sanders, the head coach, protect my son. He had 34 pass attempts, and North Dakota State doesn't have anybody in their front seven who's going to the NFL. As Paul alluded to, Greeny, what is it going to be like when they play Nebraska next week?
I agree with Mike T when he said that this guy's probably a top 5 pick, probably the first quarterback off the board. And those highlights you just shown, the one that really jumped out at me last night was when he escaped to his left, but then he reset the pocket. He had quiet feet. He sat there and he surveyed the field and then threw another strike. Most quarterbacks at the collegiate level, they're not able to do that. They may make that throw, but they have to make that throw on the run. He escaped, set his feet, reset the pocket, had quiet feet, and then he threw the ball. Now, there's a small thing that I love about Shedeur that I don't think people notice. When Shedeur's on the ground, which is often and a lot, because he got sacked a lot last night. We got hit a lot last night, sacked a lot last season. He always gets up on his own. When you have a culture where you watch games, especially NBA games nowadays, and the player falls on the ground, he literally sits there and waits for his teammates to come and help him out. Check out Shedeur. Even if he throws the ball, it's complete, he gets hit. After you follow the ball, look at Shedeur. He gets up on his own, too. Just those little things lets me know what his mental makeup is.
He is obviously spectacular, and you do worry. He took 52 sacks last year. I watched that pregame yesterday. Trevor Maddich did a really good breakdown of all the hits that he takes, so that's the big concern there. Then let's talk about Travis Hunter. 3 touchdowns last night. For those who don't know him, plays both ways. I was actually talking to Mel Kiper yesterday. He's projecting him as a corner, and he may be the best receiver in the country. So, Paul, I was talking to Heather Denich this morning. This is going to be an interesting conversation. Let's just live in a world where Colorado wins 5 games this year. But Travis Hunter is clearly the best player in the country. Can he win the Heisman Trophy on a team with a losing record?
It's possible. Normally, Greeny, grizzled old veterans like me would say, not a chance. Go back to Paul Hornung in the 50s, who played on a losing team at Notre Dame. But he is so dynamic. But the question I have, even beyond whether he could win the Heisman with a losing record or even 500, is he going to be able to survive the season? And back to what Mike T said, he played too much last night for my taste. I mean, this is a guy who is so valuable on both sides of the ball, especially a cornerback, that every time you use him as a receiver, he's getting banged up, and that's going to be costly in a long season.
Well, Desmond, you are a member of that, the most exclusive fraternity in all of collegiate sports. What would be your view on that? If the kid is the best player in the country and his team has a losing record, can he win the Heisman?
Greeny, I think that because he's so special, he's a unicorn, I think that Travis Hunter, he will be able to win the Heisman, even if they have a a losing record because he's so special. I mean, you look at this kid, what he's able to do on offense and defense. And you guys talked about that catch, that fade stop catch where he caught it with two hands. I said, listen, you see guys all the time catch the ball with one hand. But that contested catch is a far more difficult catch than it is with two hands. So I think that Travis Hunter is a guy who's special, very unique, and he's not only can he play both ways, but the amount of snaps he takes is crazy, it's ridiculous. So hopefully he can keep up at that pace.
It's going to be interesting to watch. And again, we will have so much college coverage for you this morning, so much NFL coverage for you this morning, and we will get to all of that.